What's up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of how to open your third eye in 7 days video. Today's video, as I mentioned, is the most important video because it's going to talk about how to raise up the energy necessary to pry open your third eye. Now, as I mentioned perhaps in other videos, everybody has their Kundalini energy active to certain degrees. But you need a sufficient amount of it to actually blast open your chakras, which have been closed for most of you your entire life. So first off, I'm going to explain to you in a very basic way what Kundalini is. All you really can find about the definition of Kundalini is really people's own individual perspectives of it. It's kind of like an ephemeral, etheric energy that I'm not sure that any instruments are able to measure right now, but people certainly do experience it. Okay, and what it is, it's the energetic component of a full-blown spiritual awakening process. We all have this dormant energy, and again, certain amounts of it trickle up here and there, but we all have this big reservoir of this Kundalini energy at the base of our spine, and certain practices, breathing techniques, yoga postures, meditations, and just a very strong willful intent oftentimes can crack open that shell that sort of keeps it dormant, and then this energy is free to kind of flow and make its way. It makes its way up your sushumna. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's like what they call the pathway in which this Kundalini flows. And the Kundalini essentially has one goal, and that's to awaken you to your absolute highest vibrational potential while in the physical body. And the way it does that is it starts surfacing as it makes its way up your spine, your sushumna. It starts to surface all of the different barriers that you're kind of unconsciously holding on to that are preventing you from already being in this illuminated state of consciousness. But for your purpose, to awaken your third eye, again, you need a sufficient amount of this Kundalini energy. And the meditations I gave you certainly will raise some up, and that will definitely help you open your third eye. But there's a possibility of raising more up, and that's what this video is about. For the longest time, I make a lot of videos about what to do after you have a Kundalini awakening. A lot of teachers just really don't feel comfortable talking about how to awaken your Kundalini because it's such a very powerful, life-changing knowledge, and it really is not meant for everybody. It's not meant for the immature mind who's looking to gain some cool spiritual abilities so it can win the lottery or something like that. There's a lot of people who think like that, and I know if I was just to kind of put out how to do it on YouTube, there would be people with that intention, and they would cause themselves horrible havoc, just like I did within myself, because I opened mine prematurely without really knowing what it was or how to balance it or how to have a balanced awakening process. I had to learn all this on my own, and it was really a nightmare. So I don't want that for people. But I decided, because in my assessment of the energies now, I believe it's time that people at least have the option to awaken their Kundalini. And that's what this video is going to talk about. There's a massive list of amazing benefits to awakening your Kundalini, and I'm going to go over some of them right now. First one is a telepathic level empathy. You will be able to, as your awakening process ensues, post-awakening, post-Kundalini awakening, you'll begin to become more telepathic. And that's oftentimes, it's not how people think, at least for me. I don't hear people thinking, but I know what they're thinking. I know what's going on inside of them. And it comes in not a linear succession of sentences in my brain. I just can look and sense and know what's going on inside of a person. Essentially, the essence. I can tell if they're bothered by something and they got something on their mind, and sometimes I know exactly what it is. But there's also an empathy. You don't have this ability without the empathy. The empathy is more of a loving maturity of knowing how to deal with this new perceptive ability, knowing how to, again, not take advantage of people, rather help people. The degree in which you become telepathic, able to really know what everyone's kind of in their mind, what's going on with them, you also have a parallel ability of desire to actually help assist them in a very loving and benevolent way. And that is only made possible as your Kundalini removes all these blockages that are inhibiting this natural human ability that we all have. We're just kind of living in a time where this is all dormant for most people. Secondly, is you tap in. You have the ability now, after as your awakening goes on, to tap into genius-like levels of creativity, where you will create something. And oftentimes people describe it as it just comes through. That's the way I describe my video. It just comes through. A lot of really great musicians, they say they just step out of the way and let it all just flow out of them. That's kind of what it is. You learn how to channel higher frequency ideas and just information and messages, and you can funnel it through your physical body, which is now more has the ability to handle all of this energy, and you can put it out there into the world. And whatever your particular talent or niche or specialty is, or whatever you just happen to enjoy doing. Some people will paint these amazing pictures, and you might be a sculptor, you might be a teacher, but you'll be able to access very high level aspects of your consciousness and bring that through, rather than relying solely on your limited earthly this lifetime experience, which is again very limited. You can only learn so much in a lifetime. Your soul has memory of everything it's ever experienced. You get to tap into that and bring that through, bring that wisdom through. And that's what people call, well, it's genius. That's amazing. Everyone's a genius. Everyone's amazing. But with your Kundalini active and clearing out all of the stuff that's preventing you from already being like that, you actually start to experience that and do that stuff. One could argue the whole essence of it is to just have a simple shift in your consciousness from that of the local perspective, again, kind of grounded, firmly implanted in you, your identity, who people have said you are, your occupation, your likes and your dislikes, and your lifetime of experiences. Many people, only those mental concepts and memories, they believe that is the entirety of who they are. And that's one perspective. That's the typical human unconscious perspective. But with your awakening, you start to expand beyond that and realize that you always have been part of the whole. Your identity, who you identify with internally, is with the light within, which is a part of the eternal flame of God, you could say. They call it unity consciousness. And you get to actually experience it that way, life that way. And when you have that level of consciousness, you don't see people as threats or people you have to compete with. Your ego is not so easily beaten up by negative people. You're just, you're part of everything. And anyone to say anything bad about you is just, you understand it as them just not really knowing what you now know. And with all these changes, in absence of all of the karmic baggage, you just you experience yourself very light inside. You feel very light, very still, not so dense, not so heavy, because that heaviness is all the stuff you're carrying around that you don't know you're carrying around. You think it's just how it is, but the Kundalini will first make you aware of it, which is kind of a shock and a little bit uncomfortable. But as you become aware of all this stuff, your awakening brings you to places where you're able to, in one way or another, let it go and lighten your load. And then there's just this feeling of inner expansiveness, inner lightness, inner tranquility. And you're just feeling you're in a better mood almost all the time. That's kind of how it is, how it's experienced. You're just always in a very good mood. Not needing other things, not waiting, not longing, just content with wherever you are, no matter what's going on, no matter how boring many people experience that moment, you just feel great. It'll help you discover your purpose in life. We all have, I can't remember the person who said it, but they said your only goal in life is to discover why you're here, to discover your purpose. And I believe everybody has a purpose. I, for the longest time, thought that I just don't have a purpose because it's so hard to find. I got so frustrated by it. And even one of my earlier YouTube videos, I think one of my first ones, I talk about, because at that time I didn't really know this was my purpose, doing what I'm doing now. I talk about you don't need to find a purpose. I kind of go into it like that because I just thought it was a bunch of bullshit. I thought some people have a purpose, but not everybody. Well, in finding mine, I realize now that at least I believe everyone has one. The way it feels when you kind of come into your purpose, it's not just about finding something fun to do. It's more like finding a sense of completion within yourself, finding a level of completeness that even though you still struggle and things come at you at life and there's challenges, this completeness allows you to not be so beat up by life. You have such a strong mission that you feel so passionate about and so excited to do that it doesn't matter what's going on. You're so happy just doing your thing, whatever that is. And you can only really discover your true purpose when you unlearn all the things who you're not. When you think you're this person who does this, who likes this, then that's going to remain, that purpose is going to really remain hidden until you let go of all that. Then it just becomes more like present in your waking consciousness. And from my experience, there's no better feeling in life that I've experienced than knowing your purpose. Like the way I am with these videos, I've explained it before in other videos. I really, my main struggle is turning it off. I could literally live in my own little box and make these videos all day, work on my websites all day, creating blog posts and talking to you guys. But I have a family, I have other things in my life that I have to almost sometimes make myself go and like hang out. It's like a struggle I'm going through presently. Because the purpose is such an amazing feeling, you could find yourself as all hours of the night doing whatever that is. But that's a good problem to have. I'm happy to be in that position working on it, cutting myself off from something I love so much. One of the cool things, which is again why a lot of teachers don't talk about Kundalini awakening, is you develop a lot of really cool psychic perceptions and abilities. And a lot of like people get again like focused on that as a reason to awaken their Kundalini. And it is cool. It's not saying it's bad to get excited about it because it's really neat. But it shouldn't be the primary goal, primary reason one should try to awaken their Kundalini. So I'll go over some of them. One of them is you have more lucid dreams. Lucid dreams are amazing. It's where you wake up and you realize you're dreaming and you say, oh my God, I'm in a dream. And at first when this happens for most people, you usually like get so excited and you wake yourself up. Or in the beginning, when I would have a lucid dream, I would fly. You can fly in lucid dreams and you feel like you're flying. You have that feeling of being way high up, just like as you would imagine it being. And it's so exciting, but that is such a shock. Wow, I'm flying. You wake yourself up. And now I can kind of control it. I can kind of walk around. I can change my scenery where you just like, I picture myself like in Hawaii or something. And I turn around, gee, there's the beach. There's Hawaii, my goodness. And you get to go and swim in the ocean. It's so fun, man. It's like going off into another experience where you're not so dense in the earth plane. You're free finally for a little while. You also have more outer body experiences. I just made a video recently about astral projection or leaving your body consciously. And you learn how to do that. And that is, it sort of just turns into a lucid dream in a sense for most of us, but you get to actually experience yourself leaving your body, which is a very liberating and priceless feeling. And you learn how to do it pretty easily. You develop a bunch of the clairs. What are the clairs? Clairs, well, there's 4 of them that I'm going to talk about. Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance is the ability to be like a visionary, where you're actually seeing stuff in your 6th chakra, your 3rd eye is how you normally see it. You can see things that are not able to be seen by most people. I can sometimes perceive extraterrestrials. I've seen little like alien ships, like a little saucer type ships in my perception, lights, flashes. You get to actually see it. But the way I experience it's not so much like a solid thing. It's more like you're piercing into another dimension. You develop that ability to pierce into higher dimensions. And a lot of people are able to gain wisdom and insight and direction from that ability. Now, I'm going to go over these 4 different abilities, but everyone usually has one they're like really good at. It's like their primary way of navigating their life. If clairvoyance is not my thing per se. I can do it a little bit, but anyway. Clairaudience. A lot of people have been telling me they get these ringing in their ear as ascension symptoms. And I believe those are the people who are going to wake up to their clairaudient abilities, where you hear voices some people experience this and don't even know what it is. It's just like that voice that you feel like it came from somewhere else. Not like your own little thinking mind is incessantly streaming through your head. It's like something comes from somewhere else where you're like, oh, Oh, okay, I'll do that, And some people can hear that. A lot of times you'll hear your guides or just messages. My wife had an experience one time when she was younger, and she was like 18. She was a problem kid like me, you could say, and she was driving drunk, and she was just kind of like not paying attention, and she heard a voice, slam on your brakes, and she felt like it was from her grandma, slam on your brakes, so she just did it, and she ended up getting into a car accident. But if she didn't do that, it could have been fatal. Obviously, it saved her life. That's a valuable one to have, obviously. Clairsentience. This and the fourth one I'll go over is like my specialty. It's able to sense the energies of people, of places, of where you're at. I just kind of sense my way through life. I know I can't really explain it much more than that. It's just like it's like a sixth sense. Like you just sense, I don't think I want to go over there. This person is not really right for me. I can just feel it, And again, everyone has it to an extent, but I have it very intensely, and it caused me a lot of problems growing up. That's why I was so sensitive, so empathic. It made me close off and use drugs and heroin and stuff like that because it was just too much. I didn't know what it was. I thought I was weird. I thought it was weird that I felt this way. And once I learned how to like shut it up and numb it, it was very hard not to because I saw no benefit of it. I was just acutely aware of everyone's negativity, and I didn't want to feel that. But now that I'm open to it and I kind of honed it, it's an incredible asset, man. It really helps me move through my life, move towards my goals very efficiently because I can sense the right way. And all this becomes available to you, man. Lastly, claircognizance. And I think almost all of us have this quite a bit, especially the people who are awakening now. It's just, stuff. It's like the ability to know things. That's the best way you could put it. And again, it's not something that just comes to you like, it's not like the deductive reasoning where you've concluded things based on data. It's the knowing without the need of all the data. You just know, okay, I'm not doing that. I know that's not good for me. How do you know? I don't know how I know, but I just know. That's kind of the best way it is. And it's because we're tapping into higher, it's only our human mind that has the belief that one must reason out every little thing in their life. It's like that's just one way of acquiring insight about life and where to go and what to do and what to say. There's other abilities that are much faster, much more efficient. Tap into things you just know. Just how about you skip all that reading and calculating and just know. That's what this sense is all about. And again, we'll all have these to varying degrees. You might find that there's one you're really good at, and I would focus on that. In fact, this is a reason a lot of people say, I want to talk to my guides. Well, maybe you're not so much of a clairaudient person. Maybe you have been sensing them this whole time, but because you're so insistent about talking to them and hearing them, that you're like missing all these other messages that are coming at you that you close yourself off of because of your like one-track mindedness. So experiment, see which ones come to you. Another benefit is you get to open up all your chakras. The third eye is pretty cool. It's a sweet ass chakra to open. No one can deny that. But there's other chakras, and you can awaken all of them. Having strong lower chakras makes you very tough, very strong, very successful in the earth plane, very healthy, very grounded. And of course, your heart chakra, very loving, very open, very compassionate. Just not so... the ability to see the divine within other people, even if they're kind of jerk-offs and assholes, you just feel the love that's always there, but you really get to experience it on a very deep, divine level, even though you're still like a human being in a body. Your throat chakra, that's all about like voicing and articulating your opinion and just being very witty and crafty. And we all have these abilities. A lot of people think they're shy, think they're not very confident, think they're not very articulate, think they're not very smart. You all are. We all are. It's just, again, we come here and we oftentimes buy into these beliefs that say otherwise. And because we believe them, that's what we manifest. But again, the Kundalini will awaken all these chakras, clear them out, clear all the associated negative beliefs that are in conflict with your true, authentic self, which is confident, which is awesome, which is very articulate, very smart, very witty, very charming, very, very playful. And you'll be able to kind of voice your opinion a lot more comfortably. A lot of people are very They get very shy when it comes to like being who they really are. They're embarrassed about who they really are. This being open, you'll be so confident in yourself, so easily able to express yourself that you're going to make other people very uncomfortable. It's just, wow. People will say, wow, you really have something about you, some kind of lack of hesitation and confidence. And that's this chakra. Of course, your third eye, we talked about all that. And then your crown chakra is where you experience the completion and your unified state of consciousness. So I mentioned, of course, the way to achieve all this chakra clearing and unified state of being is because the Kundalini will dissolve all your karma in this life and past lives. A lot of times we have karmic issues, phobias, fears. A lot of these anxieties and things we're holding on to are not even from only this life, but from other lives. And the Kundalini awakening, the Kundalini will bring to your attention all these different issues. And not only that, you'll get to actually step off this bullshit wheel of karma that most people are trapped in. Most people don't awaken in their lifetime. And when they die, they have unresolved issues. You get to resolve all these issues in this lifetime because of the Kundalini energy. So when you die, you died. You can go off and do whatever you want. You don't want to come back here. A lot of you I know say that. You don't ever have to ever again. Although by the time we die, if you live a little while, you might want to come back here because things are about to get real awesome here on the earth plane. But you can do whatever you want. You'll be free of the karmic bonds of the earth plane. The bottom line, quite essentially, you will become the greatest version of yourself in this lifetime. The greatest possible, vibrational, actual version of yourself. And a version of yourself that is so awesome that most people don't even have the slightest, faintest clue that this potential version of them actually exists. The Kundalini will illuminate the fact that it does exist, and that's who you are. And you'll start to be that person in the world. And feel so amazing having transcended so much in such a short time that not only will, it's like, I think that's one of the reasons we come to this earth plane and go through lifetimes of unconsciousness for that memory of, oh, wow. I've never been that. I'm this. It's so ecstatic. And from the perspective of your true amazing self, all of your dreams will come true and you'll be able to easily bring them about and enjoy in excitement and in love that is in resonance and harmony with all that is. So back to your third eye. So all the meditations I gave you, taking the advice I gave you about clearing up your pineal gland, having that strong intention. By now, if you've been doing what I've said, you've already experienced your third eye being open. Okay? You're seeing the light, you're seeing like the images come at you, you're feeling the pressure, all that. That's a sign your third eye is opening. But again, you can only open it to an extent if your Kundalini is not fully awakened. But that's okay. You can still, my third eye became wide open well before I actually awakened my Kundalini. And it was cool. I get to experience all the benefits that I promised you. But if you guys are actually interested in awakening your Kundalini, like I said before, I was very hesitant about talking about it, but now that I sense people are ready for it, the energies are ripe for it to happen, and it will speed up your ascension process. That's why I'm where I am now. I'm a little bit ahead. I'm not anything special. I'm just a little bit ahead of most people, and that's why I can make these videos, and that's why people are drawn to them. But everyone can make that jump, and the Kundalini awakening is the fastest way to really zoom through this ascension process and become your fullest self. So I actually made a program, a very, what's the word? It's a very comprehensive program because again, you can look up how to awaken your Kundalini and you'll probably find some meditation, but I don't recommend that because without having the context of what you're actually doing, what to look out for, and how to do it in a very balanced way, you're bound to have the symptoms I had, which is 8 years of misery and madness, just life-crippling madness. You don't have to do it that way. There should be a link down below or somewhere. I haven't put the link down there. I haven't put the link there yet, but it'll take you to a page that kind of explains to you what this program is about. It's a how to awaken your Kundalini program. It's a 28-day program, and it's compiled of a book, a total roadmap for your Kundalini awakening, as well as each week for 4 weeks, I'm going to send you a video with a new meditation, just kind of like I'm doing now. A new meditation, a new Kundalini yoga set. I'm a Kundalini instructor. I've been certified for about, since like 2012, so what is it, like 4 years. I had a really awesome teacher. He taught me how to awaken people's Kundalini, and that's what these specific yoga kriyas, they call it, are about, and the meditations. And each week you'll get a new one to master. But the program as a whole it's a book. It's an ebook with a complete guide. It's a 4-layer approach to a balanced and powerful Kundalini awakening. You don't want just a powerful Kundalini awakening. You must have it balanced and powerful, because otherwise it can disrupt your life in a way that in the end it's always worth it, but it's not something you want, and it's not a way you have to go about it. So yeah, there's a link somewhere. It's either above or below. Just click the link. It'll take you to a page. It's not ready yet. It's going to launch on July 4th, but you can pre-order it now for a radically discounted rate. When I launch it on July 4th, it's going to be at least double the price that it is now. But I'm giving all you guys a little bit of a deal because it's like the launch. It's just something that people typically do. But also the fact that you've watched all these videos about how to open your third eye tells me that you're actually a very serious person. You're not the kind of person that's just looking to win the lottery based on your psychic perceptions because of your Kundalini. You're someone who really is on the spiritual path, and I believe ready for it. This is kind of like my test for you guys. If you've watched all these, a lot of people probably watched the first video and okay, it's not for me. They're not really that disciplined. They're kind of like, they're just not ready, and that's okay. I'm trying to weed out. I'm trying to really focus in on the right people for this. So if you think you're one of those, just click that link down below. It'll take you to that page. You can pre-order. You can kind of see what it's all about, see what the 4 videos are about. You get to like check out what all the different chapters are and what they're going to be about. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and click the link below. Otherwise, enjoy your third eye being open. And if you say you haven't gotten like the experiences you were really hoping for, keep at it. Might take you more than a week. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep meditating. Keep having that strong intent. Keep detoxifying your body. Keep becoming a stronger, healthier version of yourself, and your chakras will naturally open. All your chakras are going to naturally open anyway. Your Kundalinis are going to awaken on their own anyway, in the energies we're living in now. But you can choose to do it early and speed through and get to your highest self faster. And that's what that program is about. I wanted to offer that. My purpose is not only to like share about the experience of your awakening, it's to help people awaken. Because me being awake and like doing my thing is not enough. I want all you guys to be where I'm at and even further. I want you guys to get to a point where you don't even watch me. Say, I don't even need Vic. I'm myself now. I don't watch anything anymore. I don't watch nothing. And I want you guys to get to that point too. Where you're like, you know what? It's been real, but I'm out of here, Vic. Peace. I'm done. And by awakening your Kundalini, you will speed through to that point, and you will be another awakened vessel, pure, aware of your. Hey, buddy. Sorry, my cat was going to start going crazy with these strings down here. You will be an awakened person, doing your own purpose, making your own ripple and splash in the world. Sorry, I had to go away for a second. I had to put the cat away. It's actually a kitten, and the kitten was getting quite annoying, so I don't want him to disturb the video any longer. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this third eye video course. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. Hit me up on Facebook or on YouTube. And if you're interested in that Kundalini course, go ahead and click the link down below. And I will speak to you guys in another video. Namaste.